Hey there, mama friend, and welcome to the 5-Minute Mom podcast, where we'll talk about real life, real faith, real fast. For today's show notes or to get free Monday Mom devotionals, visit audrahaney.com. Well, hey friends, and welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited about today's episode because we're going to kick off our series on spiritual disciplines. And for today, I want to give a little explanation as to what I mean by spiritual disciplines, why we should care about them and pursue them, even in or especially in the busy season of motherhood. And I'll share a little bit about what you can expect from our next several weeks together. So first, what are spiritual disciplines? Throughout the series, I'm going to define spiritual disciplines as practices, exercises. These are tangible habits we implement that bring us closer to Christ. They are habits seen in the Bible over and over that keep us learning and growing and developing God's character inside of us. And they are absolutely vital. But with that being said, they are a means to bring us to Christ, but they do not replace Christ. Only Christ's death on a cross and his resurrection from the dead bring us into righteousness. No amount of work on our end can do that. And if we ever dare to shift into that mindset, we are really shifting into legalism. They are not our righteousness, but they are commands to keep from the one who did make us righteous. So we can't get those two things confused. But I'm also going to use the word discipline because no one in their flesh or natural state actually wants to do these. So here's my point. When you're tired or worn out tonight after watching the kids all day, do you naturally want to fast and pray, or do you want to watch Netflix and eat cake? You get my point. We have to train ourselves to want these just like we train ourselves to pursue fitness or a healthy diet. But also, here's the good news. Just like working out or choosing good foods becomes easier for our bodies, we start to crave the spiritual and we start to crave more of God, and this walk will become more and more joyful. John 15:9-11 says, "As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I've kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I've told you this so that my joy may be in you and your joy may be complete." So what are the spiritual disciplines we're going to talk about? I'm actually studying and gleaning from a wonderful book, if you want to join me, called Spiritual Disciplines for the Christian Life by Donald Whitney. And I'm going to use the spiritual disciplines he mentions there and apply them to us as busy moms. We'll talk about some of the obstacles we face in pursuing them, and I'll give you some creative ideas for keeping these alive in your life. So we are going to talk about Bible reading and study, prayer, worship, evangelism, serving, fasting, solitude, stewardship, journaling, learning, and perseverance. Now, before that completely overwhelms you, I want to be totally honest. There has been no harder season for me than motherhood to pursue spiritual disciplines. If I were to have a report card on these spiritual disciplines that I just mentioned in the last 5 years, it would not be pretty. However, I think some of the greatest lies of the enemy for moms is that if we aren't doing it perfectly, why should we try? If we can't do it in the crazy chaos and mess of our everyday life, why even try? I've failed over and over, so why even try? God is disappointed with me, so why even try? Yes, that is the lie, friends. Why even try? But here's why. God sees the season you're in. He knows the busyness and the hardship and craziness of your day even better than you do. And there is so much grace for this not to look perfect. However, he also knows that if we can creatively and consistently pursue godliness in front of our children, if we can put spiritual things first, There's so much abundance and fruit, and God knows the power and the peace we will get from pursuing these. And I think today He wants to show us new ways to see them and go after it, in ways that bring us a contentment and joy and purpose that Netflix and cake never, ever could. So here's what the next several weeks are going to look like. On each discipline, I'm going to give you 3 encouraging reminders about the discipline, 3 creative, real-life mom ways that we can implement it into our busy schedule, and 3 book or resource recommendations to pursue it more deeply. And we're going to dive into Bible study and reading next week with our monologue and a guest interview with Jen Wilkin. Yes, I know. I am so excited too. So here's to actually getting spiritually strong and fit together this season and seeing so much more of Jesus. So that's the end of our 5 minutes. Please tune in again soon. If you want to learn more about me or sign up for the podcast newsletter or get a free devotional, visit audrahaney.com. And if you enjoyed this, would you please leave a quick review? Reviews are so important for podcasters, and it helps more moms find us, and it would be a great blessing.